beautiful Dryburgh Abbey in Scottish Borders. Hello everyone, my name's Andrew. I live in South Scotland. I like showing you places like this. Interesting, historic, cultural places and doing things as well. So this is Dryburgh Abbey. This is a building from the 12th century. It was built in the early 1100s and opened, let's walk down the steps. It's opened in 1150 by a man called Hugh de Marville, whose memorial is just up here. Erected to the memory of Hugo de Marville, Lord of the Lauderdale, Aquinet, welcome, Lord High Chancellor of Scotland. Yeah, and he built this place in the 1100s. So it started by, I think it was King David, who decided to invite some Premonstratensian monks to build a few abbeys, a couple of abbeys. This is the grave of Sir Walter Scott. Good morning, I want to quiz you up. The grave of Sir Walter Scott, one of Scotland's finest writers, finest intellectuals, buried here. One of what it says Lauderdale, but it's Lauderdale really. That's the modern equivalent. So Lawthdale, but it's Lauderdale, which is this area essentially. Yeah, Hugo de Marville. So we'll have a little walk through the abbey. Oh, that's also not just Sir Walter Scott, but also Lord Hague of Beamerside, who was Field Marshal of the British Expeditionary Force in the First World War, Commander-in-Chief of the British forces. Him and his wife there. Very plain, simple grave, like all of his soldiers had. Douglas Haig, born in Edinburgh, June 19th, 1861, fired out of this world Sunday, June 29th, 1926. And Dorothy Maud, and his wife, Lady Beamerside, she was the person who started the tradition of selling poppies for commemorating the wars. What does it mean, Lauderdale? So Lauderdale is the valley of Lauder. The Leader Water is a little stream that runs down the valley, and there's a town called Lauder, and it sits in Lauderdale. Simple enough. Thanks for asking. Nice, intellectually curious questions. It's good to have. So, get a really good view of this courtyard here from above. And there's usually little plaques on the wall to tell us exactly where we are and what's going on. Yes, the value of the river. Yes, exactly. So yeah, these are the cloisters. This courtyard below you is Dryburgh Abbey's cloister. The square court with covered walkways is a place of contemplation, designed to be separate from the outside world. I miss these walks. I'm glad if do we know each other, Aquinet? Nice if we do, nice if we don't, obviously. That's fine. Canons, that's, the religious people canons, use their cloisters to grow edible and medicinal plants, which are often planted in geometric shapes. In spring 2024, pupils at St Boswell's Primary School contributed designs for the grass cutting here in the Abbey cloister, inspired by the medieval gardening of the canons. From these, the pattern drawn by Anna Emond, Primary 7, was chosen as winner. The grass here has been cut according to our design. Yes, I can just about make that out. Used to watch it on Periscope. Well, there you go. Dale is very English. Yeah, Dale. So there's Anglo-Saxon names and Viking names and Celtic names of different places around here. Now you see this window here. It has a circle in the centre, and then there's 12 petals. Supposedly that represents Christ and his 12 apostles through that rose window. It's a beautiful thing. That's quite good, isn't it? Quite nice. Nice. So have you, Aquanet, have we been to Dryburgh Abbey before together on Periscope or somewhere else? A dormitory or a sleeping chamber extended the full length of the range. Some degree of individual privacy would be had by provided for by the canons by means of curtains or timber partitions. The roofless structure before you was built in the 16th century as a residence for the member of the Erskine family, commendators or administrators of Dryburgh during its final decades. Anyone has any? Yes, exactly, Richard. Exactly. Right, let's go in here. Let's see if we can walk in here without losing too much signal. It's quieter and echoey in here. And can we actually get up the spiral staircase? Last time I was here, it was blocked off. Well, maybe we can. We can. Okay. Okay. Let's walk up. There we go. Have we reconnected? Are we going again? Are we live again? I think we might be. Okay. So obviously going up and down steps is not good for the signal. But yeah, it's pretty cool up here, isn't it? Pretty nice. I don't want to drop the phone, obviously. Somebody's trying to get in. So we'll go back down, I reckon. In a second. Right, back down. I might lose the signal again in a moment. Spiral staircase and narrow and closer, yes. Thinner, I know they were thinner in those days. So we'll go up. I mean, look at, I can't even put the whole of my boot on sideways. That's how small that step is. Ridiculous. Right, we'll go back down carefully. Carefully back down. I shall switch hands, I reckon. Let's see, ow, right. Right, careful everybody. Careful as we're going back down. We might, if you watch on replay, it's possible, watch later, it's possible that we might actually pick up the whole video as we're going. We'll see. I wonder about the etiquette. Yes, well, somebody has to go back down, no question. Now, I saw the custodian, is that the right word? I don't know. Wandering around earlier, going somewhere. So I think we'll walk down into the cloister. Yeah, but we can see the pattern quite clearly. St Andrew's cross, which is nice considering it's the St Andrew's holiday today. Flowers, 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 short grass, yeah. So I don't think they're actually putting the flowers in there. But short grass. Yeah, so we'll walk down the cloister and walk a little bit further around as well, and we'll see a wee bit more. That's where we're going.
Yeah, so it's on the
Right. Look at this beautiful carving here on this entranceway. So some of this, I think, is more modern replacements, and some of it is the ancient, actual, proper ones there. A little bit of work done on some of them, I think. But beautiful. Look at that. Look at that. These ones you can see again. These ones are very much worn. Yeah, that's our go back. Yeah. Beautiful, aren't they? Yes, this is all water damaged, I suspect. These water and wind. You can see how those columns have got these very ornate carvings on them. They're oak leaves and scrolls and whatnot. And these ones are just plain, or almost plain. I don't know what these are. But again, you can see bits chipped off. By the English, Richard. By the English, no doubt. Book cupboard, fitted with doors and shelves. Not the grooves, the shelves. And the books, it'll be Bibles and, you know, religious books, no doubt. The east processional doorway, this is, from church to cloister, late 12th century. So yeah, this would be one of the oldest parts of the building, late 12th century. And notice the square holes in the walls for beams to be slotted into. The dormitory was on the first floor of this range. It was lit by a row of windows. The left-hand side of the first window can still be seen to your left. At the bottom of the gable. Right, so that's the gable there. So is that the... there. So that is the left-hand side of the first window can still be seen, so it must be... yes, there. Yes, I guess. Notice the crest there with Scottish lion rampant. And is that an eagle or a phoenix or something? These being swept up now. We can't keep the signal in here, unfortunately. I've tried before. The signal just doesn't work, but it's an amazing place. It echoes beautifully. So I was here a few years ago, and there was a group of singers singing medieval songs, and the sound was just incredible. I don't know if you can hear my voice echoing very well, but it's, yeah, amazing. And there's actually a frieze there painting behind Perspex windows, original, hundreds of years old. It says there on the... I can't quite read it, so I won't go in just at the moment because we will definitely lose signal. But it's amazing, isn't it? Amazing place. And again, more gorgeous carvings. Good. Superb. And there's that window. More clear. We can see the sun, well, the sky rather. Not the sun at the moment. They're beautiful. They are beautiful acoustics. Aquanet, what's the, would I recognise your Periscope name? Don't I recognise Aquanet? Maybe we would. So I think we can get over the little bridge over the culvert and have a little walk down to the river. We might as well do that. Again, these steps, they're so worn and ancient. Quite dangerous if you're not careful. Have a little look in here. Quite amazing, quite beautiful. So we'll walk up to the little statue of the king, and then down towards the river. What's going on here? Why are some areas restricted? Just inspecting the stonework. So this was a little channel that provided water up to the abbey from the river. Let's go and see the king. So this is a modern obelisk statue. This has only been here for about 200 years or so. And this is James the Second of Scots. So notice the is spelled with a Y. James II, and he was a cavalryman. He he liked his guns, which is why it's got a cannon there. I love his hat, don't you? Beautiful hat. Nice pair of metal breeches or greaves. Yeah. And I think it's James I. Yeah, James I on the other side, wearing older style clothes. Another nice hat though. Yeah, holding a sword. There's his coat of arms. Yeah, so as I say, this is fairly modern. This obelisk is only a couple hundred years old compared to the rest of the abbey. We'll go down towards the river, and then we'll come back up the other side of the ditch. So there's not many people around today. I've only seen 2 or 3 other visitors, which is a bit of a surprise, I guess. Well, maybe not. It's the St Andrew's Day holiday today. St Andrew's Day is the 30th of November, as we should know. But that's a Sunday this year. So this is a bank holiday in Scotland. So I'm kind of expecting a few more people. There's 2 cars in the car park, 3 running late. One is from France, so yeah. It's a tree which is being blown over, I reckon. It's beautiful, calm kind of a place. We may come back here in a couple of months when the snowdrops are out, because there's a beautiful carpet of snowdrops all the way up here. So we may come back to that. That's a hotel, by the way, up there, Dryburgh Abbey Hotel. If you fancy staying in Scottish borders, that's a possibility. So this is the River Tweed, which flows through the Scottish borders from Peeblesshire down into England, and then the North Sea. And we get lots of wildlife here. Can't see anything just at the moment. It's an ash tree. Can't see any herons or ducks or... oh, there's some sort of a duck. There's a couple of ducks. That's a mallard. I'm not sure what that one is. Yeah, okay. River resources. The fast-flowing River Tweed provided an important source of free food and supplies for the abbey. Goose could be a goose could be that. The waters I can see today. There's a couple more ducks. Oh, a few ducks. There's male mallard, female mallard. It looks like 3 males and a female down there. Yeah, beautiful. Okay, so we'll walk up the other side. There's the hotel, by the way, with a Royal Standard of Scotland flying rampant. So we'll walk up this way back to the Abbey, and I'll show you some of the interesting trees as well. Don't forget to give me a little thumbs up, give me a like, that'd be nice. Helps with the algorithm, you know, helps with the ego as well. It's nice to see people follow me, people who have watched me on other platforms. It's always nice to have people coming back, following me. You can find me on other places in my bio. You can go to my my Blue Sky or my Twitch or what have you. Watch me more regularly on Twitch, perhaps. Yeah, so these, well, this is a yew tree. It says yew Taxus baccata. Apparently, you often find yew trees in graveyards because they live so very long. Quite beautiful. This is an interesting tree. This one here. Woodland area, it says. How many types of flowers can you find? A common cherry tree. So a cherry tree, no cherries on it. And we'll go a little bit farther up. We'll see a different kind of cherry tree. Yes, obviously no flowers out at the moment in December, but there will be. As I say, there will be some snowdrops and daffodils when they come around. I don't like blue sky. I like it. It feels a bit like early-ish days of Twitter. So yeah, quite like it. It's quite positive. So I like this tree. This is a Japanese maple, I believe. There should be a thing on it there, or Tibetan cherry tree, not Japanese, Tibetan cherry tree. And you can see the bark peels off it. Look at that. Oh. You have these ribbons, and they feel quite nice as well. It does feel very smooth and beautiful. Isn't it gorgeous? Absolutely stunning colour. Yeah, so let's walk back into the abbey. Again, more gorgeous carvings on the doorway. Let's see where there will be a gate there, and a slot for a lock. Hole for a, what would you call it, pinion or something? Go and have a look at some of the graves as well, I reckon. I've got a stone caught in my boot. Let's see. Let's dig the stone out, and I'll pop it back onto the wee bits of stones. You can see where it is. It's gone. Okay. Yeah, so we'll have a look at some of the graves up there. So you can imagine there'd be massive stone pillars up here, creating a long, what would you call it, nave, I think, standing in the choir stalls on the left, the high altar in front, 4 high piers as the one stilts, 3 massive bases remain. The northeast pier in front and to your left is complete. Note the beginning of the 2 high arches there, which sprang from it to carry the north and east sides of the tower. Yes. So yeah, just imagine all the way up here and then more massive arches at the top. It would have been incredible, wouldn't it? Bizarre, switch to iPhone from iPad for perambulation. The iPad streams almost 10 seconds behind the phone now. Interesting. Yeah, it's incredible to think how, all of this all the way around. So it would be very much like a cathedral, wouldn't it? Stunning. Let's have a look at some more of the graves then. But yeah, these huge towers. What, 10, 12 plus? Amazing. And this is how thick the walls were. All right up here. Well, that's about 2 meters thick, I guess. I don't know why this stone has a little cage around it. Something special about it, I guess. So this is a modern war memorial. Reasonably simple. This cross of sacrifice is identical with those which stand above the dead of Lord Hague's armies in France and Flanders. There's a sword on it. Who destroyed it? Who do you think destroyed it, Richard? Who do you think destroyed it? Come on, man. In loving memory of Maud, daughter of William Williams of Aberpergum, Widow of Sir William Ewing, Baronet, born at Castella, Glamorgan, 27th of October 1844, died at Dryburgh Abbey. In loving memory of Charlotte Eleanor of Newhouse Llaneshine, Glamorgan, born Castella, died at Dryburgh Abbey 1957. And William Murray Threepland is a local name, I think. DSO, Distinguished Service Order of Dale and Tottingall Caithness, born Roxburgh, died Dryburgh Abbey. Interesting. These really tiny little gravestones, they'll be burial Henry VIII, of course, and Oliver Cromwell as well. Yes, naturally. Look at that, look at that. Isn't that beautiful? Let's get her behind a bit of sky. Look at that. Such a photographer. In memory of Peter Sterling, resident in Dryburgh 44 years, who died 1947. Here's one Jean Oliver, who died at Dryburgh 1855. Son Thomas, Anne Sterling, aged 14, and John. Oh yes, there's a couple of nice ones over here that I like. Look at this one. This is a good old one. This is somebody reading. So this is a person with an impressive hairdo reading a book. I don't know who she is, but yeah, beautiful. So generally speaking, the really small ones are older. Because I guess they couldn't afford much stone. But that one actually quite modern, 1868. Somebody aged 1 year. It's very sad, isn't it? I can see William Brown. So obviously this one, it's people who have died at different ages, so probably one family. So this is Christina. Let's see, Christina something. Oh, Shillinglaw, wife of William Brown, Dryburgh, who died in 1902. Then Andrew Brown, who died at St Boswell's in 1901. William Brown, 1906. Robert Brown, St Boswell's. Agnes Scott Quarry, who died 1933. And Helen, 1940 something. Let's have a look at this one. This has got some military thing on it, I reckon. Noel, Countess of Mayo, 1890 to 1992. Noel, Countess of Mayo, there you go. Don't know why she's here. There we are. In loving memory of John Bennett Cormack, stockbroker of Dryburgh Abbey, born 1902, died 1992. Dearly loved husband of Vera Marion Jeffrey, who died in 1999. They came to Dryburgh in 1958, it says. Reverend Andrew Thompson Donald, minister of the parish of Mertoun, and also of the South Parish Garvan, and of St Vincent, Glasgow, died in 1908. So there's actually not that many graves here. So I guess you'd have to be somebody quite important to have a grave in an abbey. Yeah. So there's not very many in this quite small graveyard, and of course it's a small town, small place. Dryburgh. There's another person reading. Don't know what they're reading, but again, another nice hairstyle. Starting to get overgrown with moss. Just a tiny little e-walker. That's all, just e-walker. So it's got a skull and crossbones on it, which I like. It's a It's a simple kind of, it's almost like a modern style face, isn't it? You can imagine that, seeing that in a, I don't know, like a Picasso or something, a face that looks a bit like that. Sacred to the memory of William Walker, who died at Blue Houses, 1879. Janet Richardson. Janet died in Australia, 1872. Eldest son, William, their grandson, who died at Edinburgh. That's David Haig. I wonder if any relation, 1752, any relation to Earl Haig, possibly? Agnes Scuven, I don't know, his spouse, October 1754. Then grandchild Betty. Her husband John Walker died 1808. Just money or connection? Yeah, well, the two would often go together, wouldn't they? You know, of course, this was originally a Catholic abbey. The Premonstratensians were Catholics. And by the time the Reformation came around, it had been destroyed. Because, you know, English. Erected by all ranks of the Royal Horse Guards, 7th Hussars and 17th Lancers, of which regiments Lord Haig was colonel. Yes, you know what the Catholics were like. Are like. But yeah, money and connections. Of course, by the time Sir Walter Scott died, he didn't have an awful lot of money. He was having to write more books to pay for the upkeep of his house. But yeah, buried here at Dryburgh anyway, I guess he'd have had some money, wouldn't he? Scott was then from two borders families, the Scots and the Haliburtons of New Mains. The latter family at one time owned the ruins of Dryburgh Abbey. After the Protestant Reformation of 1560, the Haliburtons took over what was originally the north transept in the Abbey Church as their burial ground. The fine tombstone of John Haliburton, who died in 1640, is to your right. Okay. Yes, that one I should say. So, hoc to... It's all in Latin. Bortaven Barrow de Mer Town vir religione et virvite. Is that? It's hard to read. Impressive though. The burial place was the tombs of Sir Walter Scott, his wife Charlotte, his son, also Walter, and his biographer and son-in-law John Gibson Lockhart. That's Lockhart. That is Scott, Sir Walter Scott, Baronet. What does that say? Lucum Sepulchra. Scott. Yeah, difficult to read. Walker versus Sterling. English is Scott. Is there a crossover date? Wow. Well, yeah, I mean, Walker is not necessarily an English name, of course. You get Johnny Walker, after all. Oh yeah, so this is the Erskines of Shielfield. Dr. Patrick Erskine of Shielfield died 1777. Reverend James, October 1788. Helena, infant daughter of Charles, who died in her second year. Catherine and George, children. Henrietta Erskine, etc., etc. Now, a couple of other things I want to show you down this way. That tree there, supposedly that tree was planted by the monks when they first came here. So it's a yew tree. They say it's 900 years old, supposedly. Now, I don't know what these things are. I don't know if they're... well, I suppose they're tombs that are meant to be kept above the ground, but obviously that's outside the abbey walls, strangely. Yeah, and I want to go around that way again. I don't have to walk all the way around. Let's have a little look through here as well. This is an impressive side of altar. This is an impressive tombstone here, so you can see a cross. You can quite make out the cross here. There. Again, I can't read that. Difficult to read, might need a rubbing. Look at that, stunning. It's a beautiful, peaceful place, isn't it? It's a really nice place to come. So this is in the care of Historic Scotland, which is the body that looks after, or one of the bodies which looks after really old castles and abbeys and going back even further, old Celtic places. Can you hear a bell? I can. So you've got to be a member to get in for free, or you can pay something like, I don't know, £7, something like that. Annual membership is about £50, something like that. I don't know. But yes, I'm a member of Historic Scotland, so I can get into all of their places for free. So I do. Because I'd have to pay for the membership, of course. But it's a good thing. A lot of the places over the last few years have been kind of closed or restricted because there was a storm and it started knocking bits of masonry off of things. So they decided that they would have a good look at some of the masonry and make sure that it doesn't start falling apart too badly and falling from high walls and killing people. So they had to have a very close look at a lot of their buildings and go up on scaffolding and so on in order to check stones by hand to make sure they were safe. So they had to restrict access to many of their buildings, but they're slowly starting to reopen them a little bit, which is good. Do you expect Latin inscriptions on Catholic graves? Yes, absolutely. They do like it on Latin. It's beautiful. Is that a redwood, I think? Cypress. Golden Lawson Cypress. Camecaparis lawsonaria aurea. Pretty. Like that one. That's a stunning tree. Yes, now, here's a thing I want to show you. So this is built by very skilled craftspeople, of course. Masons, they're called. And there is this symbol here. This symbol on this stone. Now, listen. If I knock on this stone, okay? Right, that's what it sounds like. If I knock on this stone, that's what it sounds like. If I knock on this stone, it sounds hollow. That's weird, isn't it? What does that mean? Puzzling. So yeah, let's walk down to the Dryburgh Abbey, which is this really ancient one. That's the back of the chamber where the singing happened. There. You can see the stained glass windows. Atlas cedar. It's massive. Massive. It's beautiful in the sunlight, isn't it? So, Dryburgh Abbey, U, it says. Heritage trees of Scottish Borders. Find out more about this heritage tree and others in the Scottish Borders, please visit the website bordersforestrytrust.org/heritage or phone Border Forest Trust 01835 830 750 if you want to do that. So common U, Taxus baccata, Europe, Algeria and Asia Minor. So supposedly this tree is 900 years old, something like that. Very old living thing. You can see the sheep. Hello sheep. Got a black sheep, a few white sheep. Do you knock on stones a bit? Oh yes. Always knock on the stones whenever you can. Should we walk around this way again? We might lose signal a little bit. If we haven't totally lost it already, of course. It's stunning though, isn't it? It is stunning. 1136, that says. I don't know if that was carved there in 1136, Margo. But yeah, the bill. Yes, we can. The lavatorium, or wash place, for use before entering the adjacent dining hall. Yeah, so this would be the dining hall. But good choice on. Oh, okay. Hey?
You have seen the 4 directions. Yeah?
Yeah.
You have seen the chapel
Yes.
inside. You have understand the 9 arches. Yeah.
9 arches.
Yeah, there is 9 arches.
Well, I know the frieze behind it. The
Now
painting.
9. Okay. Free.
Yes.
So you have an explanation here.
On the board, okay.
Yes, on the border. And I invite you to go because it's a high energetic place. You will see. And 9 is a member, very strong member.
Yeah.
Okay? And I have explained to him, and I'm going to explain to you because I think you have to know. 9 means this. It's written in French. I'm going to translate.
Okay.
9 have a celestial nature. So free, okay?
Yeah.
Free. So on the cosmic plan means God, universe and human. In the human plan it means spirit, body and soul. And in the spiritual plan it's the consciousness, the material and the life.
Okay,
This
so it was
means
God,
universe
and
human being.
humans, right? And
Consciousness, material
yes,
and life.
And life, okay.
This is means 9. Okay?
So what they
And if you see this here,
Uh-huh.
you will see this in the front of Calso Abbey.
Yeah.
You have 9 arches also with a losange like this. Okay? It's a strong meaning.
So is that only Dryburgh and Kelso? Or is there thing at Melrose and
Bad
Jedburgh?
accent. You have to receive. I'm French.
Is sin, is it the same in Melrose?
The same word.
The same 9 arches.
Yeah, exactly the
And
same.
in Jedburgh?
In Jedburgh, you have the symbol 9 everywhere. In fact, all the 4 abbey have been making the same energy, you know. So.
Well, do you know about the window? This window here.
Yeah.
So
you have the
it's-
same in Jedburgh.
It's but there's the center. The center
12.
represents Christ, and the 12 apostles around him, or the 12 leaves.
Exactly. God be the center and the 12 apostles. 12 have the meaning also of 3. 1 plus 2 is 3.
Yeah.
Okay. 1 unity, 2 the duality, and 3 the. Okay.
It's all very
And you
symbolic,
have
isn't
the
it?
same, about same time in the 14th century, there were this here, and in Jedburgh also. Yeah.
Yeah, there's the same window, I think, at the north wall in Jedburgh. I think the north door has a similar window above it, I think.
Well, I can't remember. I can't remember.
think so.
I have one before. But this place is very.
Now we'll walk in and we'll have a look.